You say that every time.
Well, we do have to lock in.
Well,
That's
yes.
why.
Hey.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello, hello. I don't know.
Yep, there we go. I wonder if
You
people
guys-
are ever going to get tired.
You guys, every time Alexandros goes, we gotta lock in.
We gotta lock
every
in.
time, right
Because
before
we're
we
yapping for about 10 minutes before this about anything, and then I'm just like,
But then
what
I'm
are we
like,
doing today?
let's lock in. And we both go,
Hey.
It's so funny. I don't know what else we would say.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Be like, welcome back. Of course you came back. This is the best thing in your lives. Of course. It's the best thing in my life.
And
Aw.
mine.
And yours?
Solomon?
And
Aw.
mine, yes.
Thank you, Solomon.
That's cute vibes. So what's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
Actually, I wanted to tell you guys, and well, you and
Okay.
everyone. Remember last week we were talking about Pilates?
Yes.
I took a Pilates class yesterday.
How did it go?
I was horrified. I was scared. I was really scared. But it wasn't that bad.
That's
It was good.
Usually, like, most of the classes are pretty chill.
Yeah, it was. But I was scared because you see all those, like videos. But it
I
was
never
really
trust
fun.
those. Those are just, like, usually, like, trying to get comments.
Yeah. But I'm a Pilates girly now. And then today I took a spin class. And I'm saying this for a reason. Okay.
You playing Beyblade?
What?
Never mind. It's a joke, don't worry. Somebody might get that out there.
Beyblade?
Did you ever play Beyblade?
Are those the things that you like?
Yeah, and they spin. That
Oh,
was the
okay. Yeah,
joke,
that was me at spin class. And I don't know. I got so in my because I was halfway through this book because I finished it a few hours ago. And I was like doing my little spin class, and I was struggling. It was so hard. I'm sore from yesterday from my Pilates class. Okay, and then I'm like, it's so cheesy. Okay, but I was like, come on. What's her name?
Poppy?
Poppy, she was running from the Cravens. I can do this. Do you do that to get through your workouts? Are you like, Cassian?
My go-to is, it was leg day today, so I was on the stair stepper.
Okay.
And anytime I'm doing the stair stepper, I'm just like, come on, Nesta. Come on. You got, and I never make it that far. My record is, I think, 1,000 steps, and I was clocking
Jeez.
out. Yeah, that's...
The stair steppers scare me.
They're
Because
good. They're so good, though.
they're Stairmaster or whatever.
Mhm.
They scare me because I'm afraid they're kind of tall steps
Mhm.
for me because I'm kind of short. So I'm always afraid I'm
You were
going
born to be a BookTok girly, yes.
Yeah. I'm afraid that I'm going to fall.
No, you'll be all right.
But I like
usually.
my little spin classes and my Pilates classes.
Trust me, do that stair stepper because then you can also feel you can get that Nesta empowerment right there.
Nah,
Being like,
maybe.
she had the motivation of alcohol, being an alcoholic and everything,
Work.
being like, I'm gonna get that booze. Never mind, walk right. It's
But
crazy.
it's the walking up for me.
It's the walking up is so hard.
Anyways, I just had to say that my spin class today was sponsored by the girlies of BookTok, and I was like, like all the books that we read. I'm like, if these romantasy girlies can do it, so can I.
Absolutely.
That's all I had to say.
Well, if that was any hint, guys, today we're gonna be doing Blood and Ash, or
From Blood and Ash.
My apologies. From Blood and Ash.
By Jennifer L. Armentrout. Come on, Jennifer.
This is a book that I tried reading, I think, a few months ago. I definitely started reading it after I finished Throne of Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Last year. I'm gonna die.
What?
Time flies, man. It's already been a year
Yeah.
since I read certain things.
Mm.
And I fell off so fast because I think I was in my reading slump when I tried reading this
Yeah.
the first time that last year. So I was glad that I got to take another crack at
Revisit
it. as it
her?
were. Yeah, because this is a book that at the very start, like, is doing so much with exposition of like, I'm here sitting in this bar, and here is everything about the world that you could ever want to know. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, hold on.
This is kind of one of those
Huh?
books that kind of like Crescent City where you're like, I'm not going to know what this is at all. And I just got to
Until
keep
you
going.
get into it, yeah.
Which even then, I still think I don't really understand. all the stuff.
The difference between like both like telling, not showing, I guess, is that like at least in this one, like it was just a monotonous amount of information that just kind of bored me
Oh.
at the start. Whereas Crescent City is just like hemorrhaging information into your brain. So
Right.
and you're just like,
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
But
But yeah, I mean, wait, give me your initial thoughts. besides
Yeah.
that.
my initial thoughts are, as a book, I think it's just okay. Furthermore, that being said, I immediately got the second book and I started reading it the second I finished this because I was like, well, I got to know what happens now. Hold on.
I kind of agree. Well, I thought that some of the like, sometimes I was like, girl, please. Like, I found some of the chapters to be so redundant. Did you feel the same way?
It definitely felt like it dragged on. And I feel like I'm misrepresenting how I felt about this book because I was definitely binging through it
Well,
like, I got to keep
No,
on
and
going
I'm just
here.
saying
Hold
this
on.
right now as I felt that though some of the chapters were kind of redundant, they were like repeat. It'd be like, this is what would happen, and then the last paragraph would be like, oh, and okay, this is what happened again. I'm like, girl, I know, I just read the
Okay,
whole
yeah,
the whole
all right.
chapter, but
Just trying to make sure we're paying attention.
I know, which I understand because I'm like, what do you mean? But that being said, I really loved it.
I liked it too,
I loved it. You liked it? I loved it.
I did like it. My bit was just that it was just like, all right, it ended, and I was like, that's the dumbest way that you can end a book, and I'm
What, a
mad
cliffhanger-
now.
a
Give me the
cliffhanger?
second book immediately. I immediately downloaded it. It was 1 a.m. when I was listening to it because the audiobook for this really helped me lock in on cleaning up my life. I was doing so much laundry, cleaning my kitchen.
That's hilarious that you say that because the graphic audio of this book came out today. I know. Because I tried to listen to it and then I looked it up and it came out today.
What do you mean by graphic audio?
Okay, graphic audio is like a company that like makes audiobooks and they are like full production. So
put in-
though it's an audiobook, it's their thing is like a movie in your mind.
They put in like multiple voice actors, sound effects to like
Scores,
replace
there's
certain
music.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a full instead of just one person reading it, it's a full production.
So instead of hearing like something like he growled and punched the window, you'd actually hear a growl and like a window breaking
Yeah.
or something like that
And then like music.
as people talk.
Yeah.
It's Solomon. Solomon, there is
Very
so much
cool.
out there.
No, I get that part. I just didn't know like how many they do because I'm an Audible fan like you. I've been on Audible forever.
Well, this is
And they do have some full cast books,
yeah,
but
graphic
not
audio.
a ton of them.
It's kind of like a full cast book. Think of it like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and graphic audio is a company that I think is just now kind of really gaining popularity because they did
There's so many.
Akatar and like a lot of people love the
Have we mentioned that we know the guy in the Crescent City audio, like graphic audio?
what?
Do you
I
know
don't
Danny? Danny Montooth? No?
Don't wait, who?
Okay. The voice actor for
I
Hunt
need to look that up.
Athalar in the Crescent City graphic audio is a guy that we know. And like I know him.
I'm looking him up.
I don't know him well, but like enough that
That's
we follow
wild.
each other at least. And I think it's so funny because a friend of ours was telling me, oh yeah, a buddy of mine is doing the graphic audio.
Wait, no way.
Yeah, he does Hunt Athalar.
That's
know that?
fierce. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
So that's my flex now with this being our space of business now, being
Oh,
like, yeah,
yeah.
we know the voice actor for Hunt Athalar. So that being said, I can never listen to the graphic audio for
Yeah, that
Crescent
changes
City,
things a
'cause I'm
little
like,
bit.
oh, that's just Danny talking. Hold on a second.
Oh, well, wow.
It's just a dude I know. That's weird.
How funny. But yeah, anyways, graphic
Did you know
audio.
that? Oh yeah.
I had no
My bad.
idea. Period.
But our friend was telling. I'll tell you who they were after. But they were just like, oh yeah, no, a friend of mine is doing this one. He's playing some guy on it. I think his name is Hunt. And I was like, oh, let him know that's the main guy. That's the dude.
that is the dude.
That's Angel Thor. And they just go, oh, all right.
Spoiler
word.
alert.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, the graphic audio came out today, the 24th. So, lol.
Cool.
But that being said, I loved it. Period. Should
All
we
right.
get through?
Please pause while I listen to the whole graphic audio now. We're gonna be
I
sitting
know.
right here doing a time lapse.
I know. I really want.
Solomon, you got nowhere to be for the next 8 hours, right?
Yeah, right. I'm curious if the graphic audio is longer or shorter than
It's
the
shorter.
audiobook. Yeah, that's what I thought.
They take words out. Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, because they take out like all like
Descriptions
a lot of the.
and stuff.
Yeah, because you don't know
She
what somebody's
said.
thinking and all that, right?
That's cool. Anyways,
From Blood and Ash.
yeah, go. Take it away.
When it started off with this guy Hawk Flynn and everything like
Stupid
that,
name.
stupid name, dumb name,
Obviously a
Ugh.
fake name.
gross. Didn't believe this man for a second. My radar was going off like crazy of this guy ain't it. I don't trust him. Granted, I did know that we were supposed to be waiting for a guy named Castile.
You did know?
Yeah, I did.
I
know.
knew that too.
I've seen like so many like so much artwork out there with Poppy and Castile doing
Same.
stuff. It's the same way that like when reading Throne of Glass, I was like, Dorian's cool, but I know Rowan's coming up.
and the
somewhere
same
along
way
here.
as like Resand and like.
I
Tamlin.
actually didn't know that one. That one because I went.
You didn't know?
No, because
Or-
Akatar was the first thing I read, and then like I was staying away from all the
Ever?
other books. Yeah, it was the first thing I ever read in my life. Yeah, I went
No,
25 years of reading nothing, and then
no, I wouldn't be-
immediately into
I wouldn't be
Akatar.
shocked. But yeah, I agree. I was like waiting for Castiel. I was like, and then I was like, oh.
Castiel, your Supernatural is showing. Hold on.
I said Castiel.
Oh, I thought you said Castiel.
I've never seen Supernatural.
What?
Whoa.
Wow.
You guys, isn't
Even
it like
I've seen
15
Supernatural.
seasons?
You only have to watch the first 5.
Girl.
The first 5 are the true story, and then after
That's
that
some
point, sorry
real
for the
nerd.
supernatural mansplaining.
That's
everyone.
some real nerd shit, you guys.
But that's because
I mean, I live.
the original creator like left after that, and they kept the show going. And it's worth the watch up until about season 11, I'd say. And then you can watch maybe the Scooby-Doo episode after that.
They made a Scooby-Doo
There's a
episode?
Scooby-Doo episode?
Oh yeah, in season 15, they get trapped in a TV in a
Oh,
Scooby-Doo
yeah.
Oh, that's
episode.
cute. That's
And
cute.
they act. It's really funny because people actually start getting murdered in their mysteries, and Scooby and the gang like all freak out. They're like, "Oh God, there's blood everywhere!"
Oh my god.
They're like, "We broke Scooby, man."
Work. Anyways, yeah, never seen that. But back
Dean
to
gets
this.
in trouble because he's flirting with Daphne, and his brother's like, she's like, no, because like, wait.
Oh Lord.
They're like, Dean, no, you can't be doing. She's like, no, she's been around since the '60s. It's fine.
Dang.
I was like, no, Dean, don't do it.
Sure. Anyways, back to this. So there's Poppy.
Poppy, Penelope.
Penelope.
Do you listen to Epic? the
I
musical?
do know
Yeah.
what it is,
Okay.
but I don't listen to it religiously.
My bad.
So Poppy is the maiden.
I did not.
I
Granted,
didn't get this either. if
I
that's what
think
you're
we
about
have to
say.
watch. Read the second and third and fourth. How many books are in this series?
I think there's 4 or 5,
Okay.
and then there's a prequel.
Okay, I knew about. There was a prequel. Boo Sirens. Hope
Yeah,
everyone's okay.
it's been a day.
Yeah, jeez.
Every 5 minutes.
Oh my god. But Poppy, she's the maiden. They live in this. You do better at explaining
Yeah,
this than me.
they live in this society. They live in a society. That's just kind of hiding from these things called the Craven. These Craven are essentially little like
Well,
zombie
monster
vampire
things.
mixed things that go around trying to bite people and turn them into Craven.
Yes.
Nobody that knows where they come. Well, they know where they come from, quote unquote. They come from
Supposedly.
this civilization called the Atlanteans.
Yes.
Is that what
From
they're called?
Atlantia.
Atlantia. Okay.
There's a lot of wackadoodle things
Mhm.
that sound like other things in this. Where I
Dude,
was like,
the Wolven and vampires. I was like, all right.
no, it's not vampire. It's vampire. I was like, huh?
you're right. My bad.
Wolven and vampire. She's like, I'm gonna do the thing, but just a little different.
She's just dyslexic and like misspelled it writing it down.
With the name like
Right.
Armentrout, I fear she'd be in a lot of trouble. Anyways,
Um,
so she
sorry,
There's-
Jennifer. Didn't mean it.
So she's the maiden of this place. There's the
Yeah,
monsters.
there's this thing called the Maiden.
She's-
They never really explain what it does. I guess that happens in later books, so I'm not shitting on.
Well,
not
I know
knowing
that
what
she
this
has
is.
to ascend.
Yeah.
What?
The
It's
Ascended.
giving the drop.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I thought.
The Ascended are this group of immortals that are allegedly being given gifts from the gods. Why are you looking at?
I was just
Vesper
saying
from
the
Blood and
maiden,
Ash?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so this is what it says on Goodreads about the maiden.
Okay.
A maiden chosen from birth to usher in a new era. Poppy's life has never been her own. Right. She's giving Rapunzel.
Okay.
Captain
Well, I knew
Power.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't know the real purpose of the Maiden. If that
Okay.
makes sense yet.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So she's waiting to ascend, basically.
To be chosen by the gods.
Yeah. But she wants to just gallivant on her own, which is where the book opens. Her gallivanting at like a pub that things
A
happen.
brothel.
A- Was it a brothel?
It was a
or
brothel.
just
It was
okay.
a brothel with poker on the side, I think.
work, and of course, and she's like minding her business, whatever, kind of looking at people, and then she goes to hide in a room, and who walks into the room but a guy named Hawk.
Technically, he
Sure.
was already in the room, but that's just
Okay,
that's
whatever.
splitting hairs here.
Whatever.
Um,
And he thinks she's someone else because she's wearing a
Mhm.
mask.
except plot twist,
Well, yeah.
he always knew who she was.
Well, yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
That was
yeah.
crazy. And I got the ick for him. I'm not gonna lie.
When did you get the egg?
When he was lying.
So the whole
All
time?
of it. Yeah, the whole time, once again, just my I don't trust this guy was going off. Every single time he was going, haha, hey there, lol. Oh, good evening. I was like,
Well, so they immediately start kissing and everything,
Mhm.
right? That's which vastly different from a lot of the other things we read straight out of the gate.
It's like, oh, we're popping
Yeah,
right
yeah,
off.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, no, you know what? I will say, having read Icebreaker as our most recent episode
That's
as
true.
well,
That's true.
they also just jump right into it.
That's true. But she
You need a
But
slow
then she
burn
like
again.
runs. Something happens and she leaves.
Yeah,
Whatever.
she gets out of there. She's like, "Whoa, that was going too far. I would have let him keep going."
But she
That
doesn't
could've been
really know
close.
what the keeping going would be.
hmm
And then she
She's a
finds
little
out.
sheltered, but
Yeah,
she
yeah,
has ideas. But she's also like, "Oof."
Well, yes. And then she like lives. Whatever. She's shielded away from everyone. She can't show her face because of her scar.
Yeah, she was
Which-
attacked by Craven as a child, and that killed her mom and dad.
Yeah.
Her brother is an ascended as well, already
Yeah.
living up his
Yeah.
best life with the gods.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert: the ascended are not the good guys. I don't. If anybody was,
I knew
fooled-
that from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is why you say you had the ick for Hawk. I didn't, because I knew from the beginning that, yeah, he's a shady character. Yes, he's lying, but I know it's because he's actually in the right. Do you know what I'm saying?
I figured that's something that it would be, but I didn't know that Hawk was gonna. This is all spoilers. If you've been getting stuff spoiled, I'm sorry to break it to you.
Y'all already know.
But that Hawk turns out to be Castile. I didn't think that was how it was gonna go. I thought Hawk was gonna double betray later on for like his own personal gain.
Wait, so when you texted me and you said, because Alexandros texted me yesterday, what did you say?
All caps. Ah,
No, but what did you say before that? Or the other day? You said,
where are you at?
give me a second. Give me a second, give me a second, give me a second.
I'll just keep.
I'm just saying that I'm going to be bragging about how right I was when we talk about it tomorrow. I've yet to have a wrong prediction.
Oh yeah. The only thing I was wrong about was I was because I thought very briefly I was like, is Hawk Castile? No, they wouldn't introduce him right off the bat. He's gonna be a first love interest, and they'll move on to the secondary love interest. The BookTokness was already clicking through my brain.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But what I had thought was, all right, so I think very obviously the Ascended are all vampire or vampires.
You immediately went to vampires? I didn't.
Because right when that one girl is like, they find like a maid with like her blood drained and stuff like that.
I didn't go to vampires, which is wild.
She had
because
2
I'm a
puncture
twihard.
wounds in her neck.
But I think I just went.
And her blood drained.
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't. I don't know. I got nothing to say for myself. I thought maybe, I don't know, the wolf. Wait, because I was like, there's a monster.
There's no blood though, you know.
Yeah. What's wrong with me? I'm a twihard and I didn't guess vampires. Because when they were vampires, I was like this. Which is why you showed me a meme. You guys, I had to stay quiet because Alexandra showed me a meme right before we started that he made for us to drop next week on our like
Episode drop.
Yeah. And he's like, me being surprised when they turned out to be vampires. I actually was surprised.
Well, my thought process was, oh, I guess there are vampires in this because like her blood was drained and like the puncture wounds in the night, like so vampire teeth, and the Ascended only go out at night. Cool. All right. They only go out, they never are seen in the day because they honor their gods. I'm like, okay, cool, they're vampires. And I
fear I'm a dumb bitch.
Well, I felt like a dumb bitch because when I figured it out, I thought of the title, oh, From Blood and Ash. Dope. Blood is in the title.
But they also yell from Blood and Ash. When they're like,
I guess, but like
we will rise from blood and ash.
anything that usually involves blood in titles is something going to be vampire related usually, especially with this color scheme right here. And if you watched our pet peeves episode or like unpopular opinions, what was it?
Something of those.
Something that where we talk about these titles. Just where are we at? There we are. The title, the pick cover, everything like that. Look at the leaves. Look at the swords. It's always the same things.
Yeah.
It's always, and we only noticed that when we were walking. Like, oh yeah, it's the same title as everything else, but it's still good.
At least it's not a quart of blood and ash.
A bowl of mac and cheese.
Yeah. It could be. But
a quart of blood and ash.
A kingdom of blood and ash.
I don't know. The second one is
right?
Kingdom of Flesh and Fire or something like that.
Yeah, which I think the prequel series is called Flesh and Fire.
If your flesh feels fiery, contact your doctor.
Okay, so yes. So
anyway, we're feeling big brain and stupid at the same time reading through this thing.
That's I think our brand. Big brain and stupid.
Who's who?
We,
Tell us in the
no,
comments.
I think both. I think it switches all the time. And I think we're big brain because we read, but we're stupid because this is what we read.
Yes, that's exactly it.
You know what I'm
You read a lot, right? I'm like, yeah, but
not what you think.
Yeah, the best thing I've ever read. It's a Dramione
Percy Jackson.
fiction.
Oh. Yeah. Man, have you ever heard of Manacled?
Manacled? No, I'm not kidding. I swear.
No, literally.
I wish I was kidding.
Anyways, so we're yapping. We're yappers today.
Mhm.
So she lives in this court. She doesn't show her face because she's the maiden for whatever reason. And the Duke and Duchess there. The Duke fucking abuses her.
Yeah, he just
Hate
beats the shit out of her. I was like, oh my
What the?
god,
I was like,
you don't need to be doing
which
all
is how
that.
I immediately
Oh.
was like, yeah, these people are actually the bad guys.
I was
knew it
like,
from the
very.
start.
How could someone like him be blessed by the gods? I'm like, because he wasn't. They're vampires. The ascension.
I was like, because there wasn't. There's something else.
I was like, all right. So they're vampires. They're all the human populace is supposed. The non-ascended are supposed to send their second.
Yeah, I knew those kids were dying.
Through fourth like children to be in service to the gods, and then you never see them. I'm like, all right, so they're vampires and they're eating the kids. Cool.
I thought it was. I didn't think it was eating. I thought it was a sacrifice of a sort.
I thought they were
You
just
know.
drinking the kid. Well, I was on the vampire already.
Who knows where I was?
You were just like, I wonder what's happening to these kids. I can't wait to
I
find
thought
out.
that they were like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. to
You're
me.
literally Poppy being
I
like,
don't know.
I wonder where the kids are going. That's crazy.
I thought that they were like, I think maybe I was on the vampire train. I just hadn't labeled them in my head as vampires. I thought they were using the blood for something.
You're like, they're doing something with the blood. And then, like, well, she also explains what the Atlanteans, like, create. Like, they create the Craven with, like, their poison kiss and, like, drinking blood. It's like, the Atlanteans steal blood, whereas the Ascended drink the gods' blood. And they're doing this, and I'm like, all right, so they're vampires. The Ascended only go out at night because the gods never walk in the day. So they're vampires.
Girl, I don't know. Lost on me.
Cool. And I was just like, all right, they're vampires.
It was
all
lost
right.
on me.
And it felt
Got
like they
another-
just, my biggest problem with this book was just the pacing for it. It felt like this book was half of a book that got extended out to a full book. If that
I
makes
understand
sense.
what you're saying because the beginning is just a lot of the same.
Yeah, when she's attacked at the start by that one guy whose name I forget, but it's like very early on, who kills Ryland.
Oh,
I think.
right.
Yeah, why'd Ryland have to die? Ryland ain't deserved
Poor
that.
Ryland.
Yeah, Ryland was just a
Ryland-
little guy.
And especially because Ryland kind of
He's just a
was.
dude.
He was just a dude. He's the one who died so that
Hawk could
Hawk
take the
come
place.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my big and like that happens. Poppy's been trained by her father figure Vincent, who's also a guard, to like fight, so she's able to fight him off.
Victor. You
Victor.
went.
Sorry, not Vincent.
Serpent in the
my
Wings
bad.
of Night.
My bad. Any V name.
Yeah. Which now that I'm realizing it's vampires, I'm like, this is giving Serpent in the Wings of Night. But I'm only just now realizing it. I'm so stupid for that.
Like, okay.
Vampires are a part of my like whole brand.
And the vampire bite is gonna be hot too. Cool. All right. She's into it. Like later on down the line. don't
Yeah,
worry
it
about
gives that. Damn. I'm
Every
dumb.
time.
I fear I need to be
Every
replaced.
time I think, yeah. What was I talking about?
You were talking about the book. Oh, how it's half of the book. Oh,
Yeah.
Rylan.
Because the moment where she's attacked
Oh, yeah.
to when she finally like leaves the city on her
Uh-huh.
little expedition, there's so much of nothing that like happens in between that I'm just kind of like, we haven't gone anywhere, we haven't really done anything, and I feel like a good 300 pages in the middle could have like been. How many pages is this here?
It's
'Cause I was-
460, I think.
Okay, there's like a good like 200 pages that could have been taken.
I
out
agree.
that to like compress it so that we could have gotten to.
It was a bit long-winded.
Yeah,
I'm also pretty sure that the next one's like 800 pages.
cool. But as someone who's only done half of the first chapter of the next one, I feel like that's where the story's going to actually pick up, and I would have rather a conclusion to this book here as opposed to we're
On to
gonna get
next.
married, and I'm like, why are we ending there?
Oh, right. That is
why
how-
are we?
Which, okay, I did that was another reason how I was like, oh, he's the Prince Castile,
Mhm.
because he immediately called her princess. And I'm like, oh, he's going to marry her. And he's calling her princess like preemptively.
Gotcha.
That's where I really started picking up on it.
I felt like he called himself Castile when he was explaining things to her, and then she just didn't pick up on it. And then later on, like I might have misread it or misheard it when I was reading slash listening. So
yeah, I texted you because you asked me, which is funny because I said stuff in that was not what you were thinking at all. What did I say? You asked me what I was thinking, and I said, I think Hawk is Castile / I thought he was a god too, because which I think maybe that'll come later.
Mhm.
Because every time she talks about him, she compares him to a god. And there's like one of the gods, and they have like all of the
yeah,
statues.
the warrior gods.
And
or
the
something
warrior
like that.
god, there's one of the gods who's like looking away, and they're like, oh, something happened with that one. I don't remember exactly what it is.
You're thinking of neon gods where Hades is just covered up.
No. They say something about one of them, and I was like, So I thought maybe
Something's
he
going
was
on
that
here.
too. You know what I'm saying? But could he be the Dark One and Castile and this god? Who knows? But every single time she talks about him physically, she compares him to a god.
She's down bad.
Yeah, but
down
every
bad.
single time. So I'm like, that has to be something.
Okay, I'm interested to keep reading it
Yeah.
as we go on with this. I don't know if we'll cover any of the episodes anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Or any.
I want to keep reading because
Absolutely,
you guys,
I'm gonna
I
keep
lived.
reading.
This scratched a romantasy itch that I have
Mhm.
been needed scratching.
Yes, I'm glad we're doing another romantasy. What was our last one that we did? Powerless? Was that the last
Yes.
romantasy that we did? We're slacking. We
Which
have so much to
Powerless, I
cover.
fear, is exactly what we all said it was, an amalgamation of all of this, including this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I keep hearing like some drama with the author, like having like taken a lot of ideas from other things, and it's like
I mean,
blatant.
kind of copy paste a little.
Yeah.
Yoicks.
Not to start drama, but that's
No,
just
no,
some
never,
stuff that I've
never,
read. I don't know
never,
the
never.
validity of it or anything.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Anyways, but
Oh.
I did live. I know you said that you didn't, but I lived for Hawk/Castile.
I
I thought they had really cute.
was just kind of
Banter.
when the betrayal moment happens later on, and we're bouncing way around, I know, but like those are like the whole middle of this book kind of
Yeah.
right over my head. I think the part where I just wasn't really feeling him was because from the get-go I was worried about like I'm always on guard about that first love betrayal because so many times that type of stuff happens
Mhm.
and it's just like, oh, but I trust him. And then at the end of the book, it's like, and he betrayed you, blah, blah. I'm like, no. So the fact that, when they're walking around after their first, like, her first time going to like a party or whatever it's called, the rite or something like that.
Right. Yeah. When
Something-
shit hit the fan.
Yeah. So right before when they're walking around the fort, like the tree park area or whatever it was.
Oh, and then they.
And she's like, he can like see really well at night. I'm like,
yeah.
red flag.
Yeah.
Red
yeah.
flag.
I know.
What do you mean he can see that well in pitch black?
Like he's a
There's-
monster of a sort.
He's an Atlantean. He's a vampire. And like I didn't know there was a difference. I thought the vampire, sorry, were Atlanteans, and I thought it was just like two separate factions of the same thing. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that the Atlanteans created the vampire, and then the vampire created the Craven. And I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
I was wrong about some of the specifics.
Yeah,
of how it
but
worked.
we both were on kind of the right track.
But I
Because
w- yeah.
I knew that I was on the track of these Cravens have to have been made by these
Yeah.
people that say they're the good guys.
Yeah, because
You know
they
what I'm saying?
they control the populace, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did this remind me? This reminded me of maybe Powerless.
Mhm.
I don't know. With like I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I think like because there was like the people and they were inside and there's something shady happening on the outside. Stop looking at me like that.
Maze Runner, Divergent.
No,
And it
yeah.
feels
Any YA, I
it-
guess.
That's what I wanted to say. This was giving teen dystopian YA from like with
Yeah.
like just different language and content, obviously. But
Yeah.
like all
But
the vibes were just like
very few.
there were so many like of those like stereotypical words that it's like I am the maiden, the ascended.
Yeah,
And it's like all
yeah.
these other different types of like titles and things like that. Then
Yeah,
it's like the districts are all around and you're just like, all right, come on. What are
Yeah.
we doing here?
I get what you're saying. It
But-
gives that.
So it was that moment when they're in the pitch black and they see stuff, and then like they're kissing later on, and like she's like running her tongue along and she's like, oh, his sharp teeth. And I'm like,
Uh-huh. Oh, what
Girl.
sharp teeth you have.
yeah, I was like, okay, you should.
Me still missing that it's vampire though. I can't believe I missed it the whole time.
I just, I'm clocking every single thing that's a little bit weird. So I'm
Yeah.
like, he's moving so fast. How did he get across in that speed?
Mhm.
He's not human. Blah, blah, blah. His slightly sharp teeth. He never really did a full smile. He's not showing his teeth. He's a vampire.
Oh yeah, because there's one point where she's like, he's almost smiling. And I was
Yeah,
like,
there was
that
so
was
many
a
times
weird
I was
thing
like,
to
all
say.
right,
That was a weird thing to say.
Poppy, let's get our head in the games
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We need to move this plot along. We've been lollygagging for way too long.
Mm-hmm. Lollygagging, however, like I've said before, I feel like I didn't understand what was happening.
There was nothing really happening, if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
being
yeah.
honest. It was just kind of a lot of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I devoured it so quickly, but still.
I know.
was
I read
like,
this in 2 days. Like, I
it's a
read
really
it
good
quick.
read. It's a good read, but that
I know, I
doesn't mean
literally
anything
loved it.
happened.
Yeah. No, like I'm so on board with this whole thing. But I was like, huh? I felt like a little stupid sometimes, which clearly I was because I missed the vampires.
Yeah, it's okay. We're all here for a little bit of that every now and then.
Yeah.
I've
what
had
did-
my moments. I completely, like when we were reading Bride, I didn't realize that Misery was tall.
Yeah.
I missed that
that's-
every time.
Yeah, she was a tall girl. What did you think about the smut?
It's a weird way to ask that, but all right.
I'm asking because I have a quote that I want to talk about.
I don't know. I was kind of tuning it out, honestly, when we were getting to. I always tune out the smut. I've said this before that it's like, all right, when they're going through it, cool. Let's move on down through. All
You and
right,
I are not the same.
we're not the same. Well, we read these for different reasons.
Okay,
It
wait,
seems.
what is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. If you're not ignoring it, then there's clearly a different reason out there.
Are you
Hmm?
aware of the namesake of this whole situation?
I absolutely am. I apologize.
No, I'm reading it for the whole thing.
The whole
okay?
thing,
The
yeah.
whole gag.
Yeah. The holes and the gags. All right.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. I just have to say that I thought that Hawk / Castile was the cutest little cheekiest little guy ever.
I was enjoying the banter until when they reach that little town on their expedition and the betrayal is revealed and he kills her guards. I'm like, all right, well, they were clearly trying to lay down their lives to protect her, and I don't think they really knew what was going on either. So killing them,
He did kill
kind of a
people
dick
quite willy-nilly.
yeah, he killed a lot of people really quick, and I'm not forgiven for Ryland. And maybe we'll find something out in the later books.
You're
that
riding for
was just
Ryland
the-
hard. And we knew
Bro
him
died.
for
Bro
5
took
seconds.
an arrow to the neck and was like, fuck. And I was like,
He was in the
yo.
book for 20 pages.
Well, that's just like the first one. Like, Poppy was really vibing with this guy.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
that's
she's immediately like, yeah, I know you're responsible for his death, but like, what's up? Hey.
Yeah. I mean, hot. Hot is hot.
Yeah, but also while she was like freaking out about her betrayal, I mean, his betrayal of her and stuff, he was still kind of flirting, being like, oh, that's not what you were saying last night. I was like, ew.
When he said that, I was
I didn't like that.
crazy.
I immediately like viscerally went, ugh, I don't like how you're still trying to put the Riz on when like she's like sobbing about what's going on. You're still
That's
like, hey.
valid.
I was like,
Yeah.
nah, Castile. I don't like that.
Nah, Castile.
Nah, Castile.
Well, before that happened, he said something and I was like this. It was when they were camping. It was when they were like sleeping on the floor.
Oh yeah, and he's like,
He says, "Do you know what it is?"
yeah, is it the one where he's like, the first time
No.
we ... I want you to be as loud as you want to be, or something like that.
Kind
That
of.
one? Okay.
I wrote it down. It was
Amazing. I didn't write anything down for this one. That's what's crazy.
it shows. Just kidding. We both are just like this. La 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 la
Just doing whatever.
la. He said, if I get any part of me in you, every part of me would be in you, and I want to hear every sound you make when that happens. I was like this. Whoa!
A bar is a bar,
No,
I'm afraid.
right?
I fear.
And it was before shit really hit the fan.
Mhm.
This was before like we found out.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew who he was, but it was before we really found out.
Yeah.
I was like this. Slay. He ate with that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Period.
Good job.
That's all I have to say about that?
That's all I really.
I
I don't know. I
just
I don't know why, but I just wasn't feeling Castile. I wasn't feeling
I
Hawk. There was
was.
just so much. I think I had just conditioned myself the entire book to be like, nah, not this guy. Not this guy.
Really?
It's not going to be this guy. I don't need to care about this guy. So then when
I-
it turned out to be this guy, I was like, it was hard for, I think in my head, I just can't swap back until like a few more
Okay.
books in.
I
If
understand.
that makes sense.
No, I knew. I clocked that he was Castile from the beginning.
I didn't think he was
Which I keep
Castile.
saying.
I thought he was
Um,
just some other type of traitor.
Work. You're still a traitor.
Is that Olivia Rodrigo?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was kind of quoting the video of JoJo Siwa singing it where she turns bright red. Not aware? It's iconic.
We're on very different.
Sides of the internet?
Yes.
That's true. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to this book that you supposedly liked, but seems like you didn't.
I know. Well, I binged it in just a couple of days, so very clearly, like,
yeah.
I liked something about it, right?
Mhm.
And I immediately got the second book once I finished it. I was staying up till 2 a.m. like reading / listening to it every single time,
Work.
being like, all right, yeah, I'm with it.
I couldn't help but think that it kind of sometimes was dipping into Greek mythology. Do you have anything to say about that? It's like they would like say things, and I was like, "That's giving that," but then it would be like, "Er."
Well,
You disagree?
Atlantia / Atlantis is like a Greek
Yeah.
thing altogether. So it's
Mhm.
like all that. What other parts were you?
I don't know. Just with the
Yeah.
gods, it kind of felt like they were giving. It kind of felt like it drew inspirations from. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Nothing that I noted,
my
like,
Greek brain must be-
overtly. Yeah, well, I mean, like, gods are like a part of like a lot of different
Yeah.
cultures, I guess. But maybe I just wasn't looking for that.
Mm.
That makes sense. Vampires aren't really a Greek thing.
Yeah, but once again,
Yeah.
I wasn't on the page of the vampires.
Oh, fair enough.
The
Yeah.
whole time. I didn't. Vampires. I didn't get until the last.
And then I think werewolves are more Roman than anything else.
Is
Yeah,
that
they
it?
have a lot of wolf imagery with their stuff. Don't think.
Okay, wolf imagery.
There. This is going into a weird direction here, guys.
I don't know. I
sorry.
just asked because you didn't seem to have much else to say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's once again just like so much like doesn't happen in the middle of
Yeah.
this, and like so many things I feel don't get resolved that like we're seeming to go somewhere. Like Lord, what was his name? Lord Royben?
Yeah, I know
Was that
the
Cruel
one.
Prince? I don't know.
The one who she
Yeah,
like
the Duke
attacked.
and the Lord. Yeah,
Wait, that was crazy.
yeah, but that's my point. That it's like this Lord who's also like taking pleasure in like torturing Poppy with the
Yeah.
Duke and stuff, and they're always getting drunk and beating the crap out of her. And I was like, bro, you're immortal and powerful. Why is this what you decide to do with your time?
Right.
Come on, man.
But I mean, he got what was coming.
hmm
She literally like sliced him up into a million pieces.
When her father figure Victor dies, and she's like immediately, and he's like, oh well, you know, if he would have been a little bit better. She goes blah 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 blah.
She literally like
Fruit ninjas him,
no, that was bonkers.
and I was like, I guess we're not gonna find out who killed that one maid, even though we were pretty sure it was this Lord because he
Mm.
smelled like the flowers, and it looked like there were so many times where it looked like the plot was going somewhere, just for it to kind of fizzle out and do nothing. And I think that was my
yeah.
biggest gripe with the reason why this book was so long. It's just that
No,
it
is
was so
way
long
too
without anything of substance happening until the end. And even at the end, it doesn't feel like anything gets resolved, which I get that it's setting up a
Mhm.
whole series. So I'm okay with like continuing to read because I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah,
interested
yeah.
to see where the story goes. But I feel that for books, they should have a beginning and an end, if that makes sense, with more to come. Like,
Yeah.
this didn't feel like it ended. It felt like it was come back next week for
Right.
the next episode. And it's like,
To be continued.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, even to be continued. Like, there's some resolution at the end. Like, they literally stop halfway through their journey and then are like, now we're going to go back to Atlantia. Like, even if they had gone back to
Yeah.
Atlantia, that would have been some type of end.
I get what you're saying.
As
Yeah.
opposed to we're in the middle of our journey, we're here, and we
we're
will
gonna
go back to
turn around.
Atlantia, as opposed to them doing some type of battle thing at the end there, as opposed to
Mhm.
just a couple of betrayals, and now we're gonna kiss one more time, and then
Do you know what else I thought was crazy? Speaking of him,
me,
that's true.
I'm losing it.
No, like him. So once it's like established that he's Castile / the Dark One, but he's like,
Mhm.
don't call me that. And
Oh yeah,
and his like guys like go after her, they try to kill her,
Mhm.
but then she like is like, never mind. The fact that he kills them all, doesn't just kill them all,
Stakes them
but he
up, yeah.
stakes them up all over the place, and he's like, time for dinner, let's go walk past all these people. And she says they're hung up like butterflies. I was like,
Why are you
that's
doing that to
bonkers.
butterflies? That's crazy.
I was like, what? And the way she goes, but I kind of like it.
I'd absolutely no. If,
Do you-
just telling you, ladies, he would if he wanted to. If he wanted to, he would.
That was so.
He
I
would
was like,
hang up your enemies,
what?
pin them to walls.
That was crazy.
That was during their make out moment, when he's like, don't call me the Dark One, or
Mhm.
say like my name, like
Mhm.
because the first time she was gonna be saying Hawk the whole time. He's like, no, don't say that.
He's like, my name is Castile.
And she's like, I'm not gonna call him that. So she just goes like, Your Highness, or something like that.
Mhm.
He's like, that's even better, actually. For me. I was like, Poppy, that's not making the moves that you want to
Yes.
be making. Like, that's not gonna work. That's just gonna he's gonna be like, all right, actually we gotta keep it to Your Highness.
I thought he was kind of silly. I won't lie. I thought that Castile was kind of funny.
He was making me chuckle at
Kind
some
of a
point.
murderous monster.
I did.
a
It
little
did
bit.
have me chuckling when he and Victor were doing their little back and forths,
Oh,
like the
yeah,
whole time,
yeah.
just being like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't wear that sword personally," and they just go back. I was kind of like, "All right, then they're kind of going for each other. I like it."
Period. You know what else made me giggle?
Hmm.
I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Bar rats, the giant rats.
Oh yeah, the Barats.
Is that what they said in the audiobook? Barats.
I think
They
it's
literally are
Barats.
just ROUSs.
Thank you for
Were you
bringing
saying
this
the same
up.
thing?
Rodents of unusual size to
Yes.
anyone who's seen Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
Yes.
the whole time.
I was this, and I was like, "You had me going," but now why are we bringing in rodents of unusual size into this? Literally, I was at the gym yesterday
Mhm.
thinking, "Hold on a second, yeah,
Yeah.
these are just the
The
big
giant
rats."
rats going after them.
All I can think of was being like rodents of unusual size. I don't think they exist. But it
Yep.
just gets taken down.
Crazy. What else did I want to say? Oh, her scars. So
Yeah.
she like was scarred as a kid because she survived a Craven attack, correct?
And she was like bitten, and that's supposed to be the end. But no,
But
she didn't.
Was chosen by the gods.
Because she has Atlantean blood.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
can't wait
yeah.
to see what their reasoning is.
Well,
for keeping
because
her.
her dad or the Duke goes, "Oh, you look like your mom," and he's like, "What?" She's like, "How do you know what my mom looks like?" So that was something there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if he's, I don't know if her mom's like someone.
Her mom was someone. The queen liked her.
But she was just a lady in waiting
So
or something. I know, but I'm wondering, was the Duke her dad? The Duke's dead now.
Well, the Duke was an Atlantean.
Oh, right. See, okay, that's another thing. Atlantean and Ascended, too similar.
Ascended equals vampire.
Yeah.
Atlantean equals creates vampire.
But you know what I'm saying?
Vampire
Too many words
creates
that I'm like, I can't keep all this straight.
3 whole words, I know. That's crazy.
Shut the fuck up, sir. He's sassy today. He gets a haircut and he's sassy.
Dude, I know. I'm feeling myself.
Ay.
Before we started recording, we were setting everything up. I saw my butt in the camera, and I was like, hold on a second. These pants, it was leg day today. These pants are like kind of working for me right now.
You
And
guys,
so-
it was wild.
We might
I have a video of it.
get ready for very different content.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, it'll be the same content.
You're so crazy.
I know.
Anyways, back to the book.
Wild.
So
Back to
she's
the book.
scarred, okay? And the whole time he's saying to her, because she's the maiden, so the maiden can't show their face. Don't know why.
And
Okay.
they also hide her face because it's so scarred. and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, so she doubles up on masks.
Wild.
It's COVID, peak COVID. You're doubling up on masks.
Yeah. But like no one sees her mask or her face except for like the Duke
And a few other people,
and a
yeah.
few people. And the Duke's like, "You're so hideously ugly." I'm like, "Oh my
But
god."
half of you is so perfect. If
Yeah,
only. And I'm just
But
like,
the other half of you is so fugly. I'm like, what?
oh, hey.
Like that's crazy.
I always love in books like this where like a person is just such a hater for no reason. Like
The
who has
Duke
the
is
time
such a hater.
to hate that much about anything? Like
No,
how are you
right?
just sitting there just being like, look at how awful half your face is, you dumb, ugly
I'm like,
19
she
year
just
old.
has
I'm
like
yo,
two scars. Like,
bro.
hello?
Oh, speaking of scars, do you want to tell the story that you told me
Sure.
outside or no? Okay.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, sure. I liked the story. I thought it was cool.
Okay.
How do we feel about scars, guys? I think
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talk about
Well,
this, but
Yeah, because it kind of is on topic. Okay, because for me personally, I think scars are kind of badass.
I think they
You know
are
what I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
I've always said, like, I want
I have a scar right here
You got a scar
on
right
my middle
there?
finger. Boop. But I think scars are pretty slay, right?
That's
So-
you should show that off to people. Like, oh, I have a scar right here.
That's what I do to everybody. Okay, so I was just at the beach. I was at the beach for a trip for an extended amount of time, and my bestie's boyfriend stepped on a stingray and got stung by a stingray. Yikes! So he has to
Everyone-
go deal with it and get it. You put your foot in hot water if you get stung by a stingray, I guess, or wherever you get stung. You put it in hot water and it just like kind of dissolves eventually.
Okay.
The whatever. And there was the lifeguard there who was helping, and he's super nice, super cool, and he had a scar on his face, but like super slay. And he goes, like, he was like so funny, and he goes to school for like carpentry or something random. So we're like, why are you a
Lifeguard.
lifeguard,
What's going on?
what do you mean whatever? What made you do this? He goes, oh, because I was attacked by a shark when I was 13. What?
Badass
You
story.
guys, I was over here being like, this is so dramatic, Alex, that you got stung by a stung by a stingray. Like, how dramatic, whatever. But
Was his
also,
name
what
Alex?
a story. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, what a story, whatever. Meanwhile, our homie, what was his name? Keen goes, oh, well, yeah, I was attacked by a shark when I was
Sitting there
13.
like, oh,
so-
you got it.
Like, you think
stung
you
by
have a
stingray?
story?
That's cute. I got bitten by a shark
You
that was
guys-
twice my size.
And he has a scar on his body of the full jaw, like the
That's-
full mouth, boom, taken out of his.
As far
torso.
as scars go, that's a fucking cool one. I don't.
Right?
You have to get a scar. I mean, it sucks to get.
Like,
don't
that's
get me
kind of
wrong.
cunty.
I wish that upon no one.
No.
But now you got a really kick-ass story.
And he's okay.
And you're gonna be like, yeah, when I was 13, I fought off a shark that was 12 feet.
12 feet. He was 13 years old. He was kind of little. I looked up pictures. He was 13 years old. and the 12-foot long shark.
Bro, good little face nick, and then the big one's like on your torso right
Poppy's
there.
got nothing on him. Poppy's got nothing on him.
Poppy didn't even fight off that Craven.
Yeah.
Fight a shark, Poppy. There you go.
Anyways, that's just the story.
That's
that
so,
weirdly lined up with this
Let
book.
us know your favorite places for like a scar to be. It'll be like peak hotness. So I think like right across like the chest right there, or something like that, with like a little one on the face. That's like
It's
ideal
hot.
scar
I
placement.
agree. Anyways,
That's pretty good.
so that's my little story. Back to the book.
She also has this power to like.
Oh, I forgot about her power.
Yeah, because she doesn't do anything with it, really.
Yeah.
I guess her power is evolving, and once again, I know there's more
Yes.
books in the series, and that's where she apparently she like pops off and becomes a god. Later
Spoiler
on in the
alert.
series. Oh, sorry, I don't know the specifics of it.
What?
I don't know the specifics of it. I just
Why did you tell me that?
I don't.
You just
I don't
spoiled
think
it for
she's
all of our listeners too.
I don't
guys,
think I
I'm
don't know the
sorry.
specifics of what happens, but apparently she just gets.
Okay,
Like, I'll stop talking.
No more.
All right. I'll stop talking.
Anyways.
I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking.
she has.
This is just from looking at art on Instagram, though.
That's. I don't look at art until after I've.
Yeah, it shows.
Shut up. I don't look.
Oh.
I try not to. Like, I didn't look up on Pinterest. That's where I always get my fan art from. I didn't look it up until I closed the book because I said I don't want to get any more than I already know because I already knew about Castile. I didn't want to know anything else.
I've just seen in debates like when it comes to like things with like Akatar from Blood and Ash,
Oh, are they,
things like that, and they're just like,
who
no,
would win in a
Poppy would
fight?
absolutely demolish anyone if you get to like book whatever.
What do they think that she demolish?
I think it's like when you put her up against Aelin or something, or something. It's like people who are saying Aelin would win in a fight, and these are like just TikToks of like who would win, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah.
Work.
And it's just like, no, Poppy is absolutely crushing everyone, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, cool, can't wait to see that. But I also don't know if that's just people just
Overhyping. the
glazing,
babes.
yeah.
But anyway, she has a power that she can like.
Sense.
It's giving Jasper.
I was thinking this is just so. See, this is so Twilight coded. How did you not?
It is so Twilight
How
coded,
did
and I
you
didn't
not
notice
immediately
until now.
clock the vampire stuff? It's like she senses pain. Nobody can go out during the day. There are little vampire monsters
Guys,
running
if you
around.
know anything about me, it's that Twilight is my favorite thing in the whole world. So this is crazy how blind I was to all of this. But she has a power where she can like feel people's pain. Like that's what the power was originally. And she can also take the pain away.
Mhm.
And she but it's evolving now. She can feel emotions.
Yeah.
You know? So that's another thing where you're like, there's something wacky going on with Castile because she feels weird things coming off of him. And she can also like ease their emotions, which is giving Jasper. She can like
But the Ascended can block her.
yes.
Interesting. And why are
Yes.
they blocking her? And what's going on?
Why
There's so
are they
many
blocking
questions
her?
that I feel the second book is going to answer. And everyone who's read the series is like, these fucking dumb need to finish
Yeah,
this
we are.
series.
Are we giving idiots? Be honest. I mean, I know I am. So actually, don't be honest.
We're giving dumb and dumber instead of like smart and stupid or something like that. What were we talking about earlier?
Smart and stupid.
No. What were we? What
Oh,
were we
big brained and something.
Small brain or something like that? Was that what?
It was 5 minutes
Solomon,
ago and I already forgot.
Yep.
It's okay. Whatever. We know that I have
We
the.
know who it is, guys.
It's just don't make fun of my memory issues. Who knows?
She's
why I
been
have
through
them.
a lot.
Not really.
No, your memory has.
Yeah, true. But yeah, her power, interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. And also, this is another
it's
thing that
used?
gives vampire. He can compel her, which is
Yeah.
That's
I don't
Vampire
like that.
Diaries.
I don't like that.
that's Vampire
I
Diaries.
don't like compelling.
Yeah,
I don't like that. That's scary.
which I'm like, I should have clocked that too, but I didn't.
Well, that was after they already established vampires, though, didn't they?
Oh, did they? I don't know.
Yeah, hold on a second. You're like, I should have figured it out, but I was like, yeah, after they explained it, yeah, you definitely should have.
Okay, no, that's not what I meant.
They're like,
Whatever.
hold on. I
But
think
yeah.
they might be vampires.
I'm realizing that whatever.
It's all right.
That's what it is.
Sometimes we just miss things.
Sometimes we miss things.
And that's okay.
yeah, that's why there's two of us.
I'm so sorry about how hectic this episode is, guys. It's just
That's
we're just
what-
like, all right, yeah.
I'm gonna look up some Slay quotes. You talk for a second.
Absolutely. One thing I can do is talk for a few seconds. I'm very excited to see what's going on with the queen and that society later on. I'm curious as to if her brother is really as awful or if he's just like staying alive there.
Whose
because,
brother?
Poppy's. Isaac?
Ian?
Is that Ian?
Ian.
Isaac? Someone with an I.
Ian. It was Ian.
Sure.
Believe me.
But it's just the fact that it's like, because then he's very clearly complicit. And I think my theory is that he sold out Poppy to become an Ascended, and he sold out their parents too to become an Ascended. So I think
Oh.
Ian's gonna be
Bad.
the worst. Yeah, I think
Oh.
he's not gonna be it's not gonna be very cash money of him, to say the least.
I can see that.
And fingers crossed.
What do you think is the tea with like
Hmm.
Castile's brother?
I think his brother might still be alive.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna pull an undercover thing after they're married to go rescue them. Once again, I have not read the second and third one, so if I'm either spot on and you're like, this guy's cheating, or if you're like, what the heck is this guy yapping about?
Yeah.
It's because I don't know. These are guesses.
But it's fun to theorize.
Yeah. And that's why I kind of like how we only did the first one for this.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
Like with every other one, it's like we know everything that happens in this series.
Yeah. Clearly, we
So-
don't know anything that happens in this.
So we're still figuring out if vampires are in it or not.
Girl, I'm just figuring out that I'm an idiot. This is what he says to her when he sees her like full face for the first
how
time.
beautiful she is.
Or no, he says this eventually. You're an absolutely stunning, murderous little creature. If that isn't an iconic romantasy line,
That's your ideal pet name, little creature.
little stunning, murderous little creature, I'll take
I
it.
gotta take the whole thing. All right. Can't shorten it to just little creature.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're 5'3". Hey, little creature. That's what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
call
true.
you from now on. Hey, little creature.
Hey, little creature. That's crazy. With my sword and with my life, I vow to keep you safe.
He was lying there. He was
But
full of shit. He was like, I'm gonna
this.
sell you out for my brother when he
was
said
like
that one.
illy. He was like this.
I think that's why. There were so many instances that I was just like, I can't trust this guy. There's something off about him. Let's read this one.
When he goes, when she says you're such a bad influence, and he says to her, only the bad can be influenced, princess. That's a bar.
Okay, I like that.
That's a bar.
All right.
You cannot deny. Ooh, only the bad can be. I liked his little like. He was
His
silly.
little what?
His little like. Okay, enough.
His little what?
No, his little like comebacks. His little. The look he just gave me was crazy. But yeah, I thought they were so cute.
I liked it. I thought it was cutesy, but once again, just in the back of my mind, I was like, there's something going on with this guy. Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Yeah.
And then like right after they finally go all the way and the betrayal comes out afterwards, I was like, how dare you? How dare you?
When
Hawk?
he's like, and he immediately says to her, he's like, please remember this for what it is, no matter what happens.
Dude, see, that's nasty to me. That's
I
don't like that. He a fugly.
You don't like him.
I don't like the blatant lying, betraying, because the dynamic seems so off with her being as like naive as she is in some area. Not naive, I guess just like inexperienced in so many things. Then he's also just like, I'm 200 years old, I've been around, and I'm lying to you the whole time, getting in your pants. I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine, I guess.
I'm interested to see what happens with them.
I am too.
You know?
Like I said, immediately downloaded the second book.
Yeah. But also really quick before we go, she's also a little smut reader.
Everyone's
so
reading smut
cute.
these days. Even the
girls in the smut that we're reading are reading smut.
Watch them start writing the smut about the smut the girls are reading in it or something like that.
The girlies journal,
Mhm.
which I'm
Publish
like,
that journal. Publish that journal.
Publish a journal.
Jennifer, write that journal.
Yeah.
Publish it.
I
I
live.
don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a good way.
But it made me giggle the fact that that's happened 2 books in a row.
Yeah.
You know?
Just being like, oh my gosh, whoa.
Yeah. He's like, what are you reading?
It's like, what are you reading? I'm like, shut up. You're lying to her.
You wanted Castile dead.
I didn't know he was Castile at the time, and I don't know how to feel about it now going forward.
Even when I said that to you, you didn't think, you thought I was wrong.
I did think you were wrong. I didn't think Hawk was Castile. I thought
I love that I was right.
you're still like Hawk is Castile. I don't know what Castile is, but he's something out there.
So
maybe
my
he's a
win-
werewolf.
My win is that I knew that Hawk was Castile. Your win is that you understood that there was vampires there the whole time. I picked up on the foreshadowing. You picked up on what was happening.
You're just like everything else missing. You're just like, hold on, it's gonna end with this exact line.
I think can I be honest? I think I was trying to beat you. I think I was trying to figure it out fast. Figure out how it was gonna end fast so I could say I figured it out and be right. That I think I missed what was happening in the moment.
I think I thought at the start that Hawk might be Castile, and then I was like, no, there's no way they would do that. I was literally just like, no, that there's no way. And then way. So You beat me out there. Good job.
But
Yeah, I
At
was
what
gonna
cost?
say I would
at what cost?
take the fucking compliment. Just take the compliment.
Oh, all
I-
right.
I think that's all there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to like immediately read the next one.
Yeah, I already have the audiobook queued
I know
up
that
and
there's
I'm ready.
for anybody who wants to immediately read it as well. I know that there's a bit of a wacky order that you're supposed to read these in. By wacky order, I just mean publication, like publication order. But you're supposed to go back and forth between this. Why are you mewing right now?
I'm just like going,
You're supposed to go back and forth between this and the prequel series.
between this one and the prequel series?
Not this one. So I actually screenshotted it so that I could educate you all. You're welcome.
I don't like prequels. I don't like having to deal with that after the story's already
Apparently,
started.
people prefer the prequel. People love the prequel series. I don't know
It's
who it's
giving
about.
Star
though.
Wars. People prefer the prequels.
I mean, okay, so it goes, from Blood and Ash, Kingdom of, I get all the
Flesh and
names.
Fire.
Flesh and Fire, The Crown of Gilded, did you get it up? Of Gilded Bones, Shadow, wait, is that right? Oh, yeah, and then you go to Shadow of, I can't read that. My astigmatism is really struggling.
You have it on your phone. Read it
I
on
know,
your
but I was trying to
phone.
see if it was the same as what it says on here.
But 4 says the War of Two Queens.
Cupcakes and
And
Kisses.
4.1 Cupcakes.
When do we read
and Kisses.
Cupcakes and Kisses? Hold on.
Cupcakes and Kisses.
Cupcakes and Kisses up there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so you go from, I don't know. You guys, I try to get this for you, and then I feel like, I know you go from the Crowd of Gilded Bones to Shadow in the Ember, and then the War of Two Queens, and then Light in the Flame, Soul of Ash and Blood, and Fire and Flesh.
When do we read Lieb Kent kein Grenzen?
I think that's the German.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Come on, German. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's that. Did we say much? Not really. Hopefully you giggled.
Hold on. There was that one family that was trying to save their later kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was kind of bonkers.
humans, and then he also tries to kill Poppy at the end there. I don't know.
I was like, sir, I feel like your anger's a little misdirected.
Yeah, I was like, hey man,
None of this was her fault.
you're deflecting here.
He's like, you didn't care. What was she supposed to do? She
What's
had
she gonna do, man?
her face was
What's she
covered.
gonna do? She's just chilling there, getting beaten by a cane.
Yeah, that girl's
Come
just
on, bro.
vibing. Leave her alone.
She was also very much like, don't.
She was
don't
on your
take their
side,
kids.
sir.
And that's when I was also like, all right, so they're eating the kids.
I
Guys,
thought it was sacrifice.
all right. Before we sign off,
Uh-oh, what?
objectively, that's a bad system to have in place where you drink only the kids. What you should do is after they reach a certain age, take them. Because that way you can get the most out of their labor and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like, why are you taking kids when they could like still produce more kids later on and stuff? Like, you're cutting off your food source before it
I
can
get what you're saying.
replenish. So they're taking these kids as opposed to being like, hey, when you hit 50 or something like that, you're gonna come and be in service to the gods, and that's when you'll ascend up or something like that to be in the heavens. As
Mhm.
be that your BS instead of we're gonna take your kids and you're never gonna see them again. I'm like, all right, well that's
Yeah.
just inviting people to be like.
But I
"Hold
guess
on."
it's just because it must only be people who have more than 2 kids, right?
I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the excess kids, but like,
which is wild.
yeah.
You're bored and you're like, well, I mean, sure,
Personally, I'd stop having kids. So
yeah.
I'll just be like, hey,
Oh, wait, one last thing. Come on, male birth control.
that's right. he takes the what does he take?
I don't even know what it
was
was.
it called?
I don't remember what it was called, but they both could take it. I was like, work.
You take it once a month and you don't have kids. I'm like, all right. And it's one of those things where it's like, there's always birth control in fantasy. I take the tonic. I've circled the tree thrice. These aren't my bits. These aren't my bits. This is from a TikTok. I don't
Circled the
remember what
tree
it. But it's like
thrice.
it's stuff like that. It's all like
Yeah.
I've taken my monthly broth or something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah. It's always something wacky.
It's being like the herbs that stop my cycle or whatever it is. It's being like, do you eat the bark or something?
but I was like, okay, work.
I'm just like, all right. Sharders, Poppy, you should absolutely be taking the same thing too, right here. I know you didn't plan on it, but also you've been frolicking with this man dangerously close to the line for a while.
Yeah.
And you're just trusting this line, the word of this man, who I already thought he was lying. I was like, I don't believe this fucking man for a second.
I knew he was lying. I just
you
thought he was
are
lying for a
you
different
are
reason.
you are licking his teeth and commenting about how sharp they are. I don't.
Period.
All
All right. Well, really quick, what's your hope for the next book?
Hope for the next book is that I finish it.
Okay.
That was a bad hope. All right, you want me to do another one?
Yes, do it real real one.
My hope is that I finally understand the hype for this series.
Okay.
Like, I hope like it just starts popping off. The plot like gets moved forward as opposed to this little stopgap that we have here. So I guess her mission is accomplished. I immediately got the second one, and I'm so ready for it.
Yeah,
So who's really winning?
she is.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, as a book, not that great. Already reading the second one. She's like, shut the fuck up. You're already reading it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're right.
My hope is that Poppy continues to like slay,
Mhm.
and I'm excited to see her be able to use her powers and what they evolve into.
Yes.
Especially now that she is out of a place where they keep telling her that she's worthless and that she's like, because that's her whole thing is like, the king says such awful things to her.
The
I'm
Duke,
excited
yeah.
to see. Oh, Duke, sorry. Yeah, because there's also kings and queens. Whatever the fuck. But I'm excited to see her removed from that and see what that can help her turn into.
Mhm. Exciting.
Period.
Very interesting.
Well,
Let us know what you guys thought. If you guys liked us kind of
let us know.
yammering on, not
Yeah,
really
I'm
talking
actually
about
not-
anything in particular, but just the parts that we liked.
Mhm. Next week or next time.
Next week, or not next week, but next time.
Yeah.
What are we going to be covering, Maddie?
The auction, right?
The Auction by
Yeah.
Lesbica 8. Finally going back to Dramione. This is a highly requested one. For those of you who don't know, it's part of a non-connected trilogy called The Rights and Wrongs. Or it's not a trilogy anymore. There's several other parts to it afterwards now. But the main three are The Right Thing to Do, All the Wrong Things, and The Auction. So I recommend reading. So The Right Thing to Do is just a post Deathly Hallows fic that follows Hermione's POV. All the Wrong Things takes place from Draco's POV in the same story. And then The Auction is a canon divergence after the war where Voldemort wins.
Fine.
And I recommend reading them all because they're all written so well. and
It's
they're
Julie
exciting.
Soto, right?
Yes. I
Loves
think
Bika 8.
that's
Our bestie Julie Soto.
Mhm.
Whom I stand.
Bestie. Yes.
I love her. Anyways.
We've exchanged one message.
No,
Yeah.
we've exchanged more than one
You've
message.
exchanged- we've
I
exchanged
got
more
an
than one?
excuse me, I got an arc of her book before it was released.
I didn't know
It's
that.
released now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, we had to cover it then. Next
We
time.
can.
All right.
I love it. But it's not
Set.
it's contemporary, so that's why
I do
hesitate.
contemporary. Come on, we just did Icebreaker.
I know, but we didn't do ice.
Does he dress up like Gru at any point in that
Nope.
story? Then I love it. Then I'm already down for it. All right.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for coming on by. The Auction loves
Thank
Bika 8
you.
next.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Where are we looking? There you are.
Vampires.
That's a bar.